Hello everyone, this Monstertaming will come at you another Kindred video. This is a long overdue video, and this is going to be my breakdown on Shovlet and what I think should probably be changed about Shovlet. I will start off with, there's a few moves that Shovlet has, like Crush and Rock Wall, that I think are just really bad moves inherently. It doesn't matter what Kindred you put them on. To do a very, very brief thing about them is I think Crush needs to be easier to use. It's too hard to hit for what you have to do, and it could probably use more damage per defense as well. And then for Rock Wall basically just needs more health and probably be slightly taller, like just a little tiny bit taller. Because as it stands, Rock Wall's roughly this height, and it should probably be roughly this height of this thing right here, I think, so that like a Lumala can actually jump over Rock Wall if given the right circumstances, for example. But anyways, what we're going to be talking about is the rest of Shepard's moves. Earth Swipes, I think, are pretty fine. They were really janky for a long time, but they're another move that I use on the base kit Shovlet. Oh yeah, Bite's another one I think is basically fine. Like Shovlet's not really supposed to do a lot of damage with the moves, so these moves, they work fine enough. They're finishers. I prefer Earth Swipes over Bites, but I think that's mostly a preference thing. The moves we have to talk about are mostly the moves I have on me right now. Rest is also fine. I think Rest is perfectly balanced in the way that you have to use a Coffee Bean, which opens you up to, you can't use Rations, you can't use Peach, you can't use any type of ability removers, status removers, because if you don't, then you're slept for quite a while, and unless you get hit with a nasty combo, you probably will get a little bit of extra health, but that's not a big deal. So I think that's fine. A move that requires an item to be really useful. And then the three moves that I want to talk about changing are Dig, Quicksand, and Rock Slide. Rock Slide recently got nerfed, so we'll talk about it. And you see the area is pretty big, but you also see there was almost no rock fall in big portions of that area. Like, let's go right here. I would have been completely safe, and there's a couple of other spots. And that's one thing that I think about Rock Wall that makes it kind of not fun, is that it's fairly inconsistent. I think it should probably keep a relatively low damage. More damage than Quicksand, though I think Quicksand has a smaller radius and has a much bigger pool. So I do think Rock Slide's current damage is probably fine. Just use it on Lumala, because Lumala is easy to kill, and I won't have to fight a Shovlet for like 5 hours. So if we center this on Lumala, you'll see Lumala standing completely still, didn't even get taken down to half health. I'll switch to Amber real quick just to finish Lumala off quickly. And you also see the slow wears off really fast. Now, let's see what happens when we do a Quicksand. A Quicksand took Lumala easily to the same health as Rock Slide in like almost no time, and the stun lasted for much longer. Like if you were actually bullying that Lumala, then you could keep them in there for much longer. So Quicksand does significantly more damage to Rock Slide. I actually think Quicksand is in a good position for the most part, but we'll talk about that a little bit more in depth when we get to it. What I would like to see from Rock Slide is for it to work like Quicksand. If you're caught in it, you take constant, consistent damage no matter where the rocks land. The rocks are great for cover because you can do like a hidden rest behind them, but I think they should do a consistent damage a little bit more than Quicksand. I think if someone stands in a rock slide completely still, not moving at all, then they should probably get taken down like half their health. It's like, let's look at Skulkin's Caustic Cloud, for example. It did about half Lumala's health plus poison. So I think there's another good example. Lumala was kind enough to respawn, give an even better example of what I meant. So for Rock Slide, I think it should be Shovlet's equivalent to Caustic Cloud and Scorch. I think the slow should last much longer when you come out of it, and the damage should be higher, but consistent. Like if you get out of it quickly, you should take like almost no damage. It'd be like you're taking a single tick of damage from Scorch or Caustic Cloud, but even less. And make it so that you would only, like a Lumala, would only get taken out to half their health, and Lumala's not exactly super tanky, would only get taken out like half their health if they stood in it for the entire duration. It's just make a slow, I'm not going to say make slow last 30 seconds because that would be incredibly overpowered like the other abilities do, but maybe make it last like 5 seconds after you're out of it to really punish someone for getting caught in it. And while you can see it's super big, you could maybe lower it in size down to equivalent to probably something about Quicksand's size. I think it should be bigger than Caustic Cloud and stuff because it would be weaker overall. But, and maybe you could even keep the current size. The slow might not be that big of a deal, especially if you could just swap out. It could basically force you to swap Kinfolk or something like that. Now for Quicksand, since we keep talking about Quicksand constantly, I think Quicksand's in a really good position, except that if you look at it, the cooldown is not great. Like, cause the Quicksand lasts for a long time, and then when it goes off, you're literally 3 seconds away from using it again. A very, very simple fix is, I think, just make Quicksand only trigger its cooldown after it expires. That would effectively make the cooldown about 5 seconds longer. Well, not even. I was wrong because there's 5 seconds left of the cooldown. It would make it a lot longer. Let's count again. So 15. It would make Quicksand's cooldown about 10 seconds longer. But you have to realize that Quicksand is going for a very long time. Because right now, Quicksand effectively has about 4.5 seconds of a cooldown, which is too much. So you could maybe up its time to be about 25 seconds, or if you wanted to be a little bit more generous, maybe up its cooldown to 20 seconds, but it definitely needs to be more than like 4.5 seconds that it effectively is now. And that, I think, would fix Quicksand up nicely. And then for Dig. Dig is probably the one, if I had to choose one Shovlet ability to get it reworked, it would be Dig. You have invincibility when you jump in, you're invincible when you're under, and then you're invincible when you pop out. I think Dig as an alternative to dodge and sprint and shield is absolutely a great idea. You see an explosion coming, you should have that invincibility when you jump in, but I think you should lose it as soon as you pop out. So if someone times an explosion on you as you're popping out, you should get punished for it. Like if you're playing aggressively, using Dig should be used defensively. Shovet's an earth type, it's all about defense. So invincible, 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 not. And then there's a brief window there where you will get hit and take the full brunt of damage, because it's really annoying to essentially outplay a Shovlet where they're charging you with Dig and you like throw Scorches down, to Caustic Cloud down, throw Explosion down, whatever. And then they pop out and you're like, haha, you know, I didn't take any damage. So make Shovlet more vulnerable when popping out. I still think going in is fine because it's basically like a dodge. But popping out really needs to have a damage modifier added to it. You can make it not invincible. So overall, I'm proposing a nerf to Dig and Quicksand and a rework to Rock Slide. Not, it might be a buff, it might be a nerf. It's kind of hard to say, but because you can get lucky and basically kill someone with it, or you can get unlucky and do literally no damage. Like I showed over here, I literally stood in it and I didn't get hit by a single rock. So please let me know what you guys think about these ideas for a Shovlet rework in the comments below. I could do more series like this for other kinfolk if you want. I don't think any of them are in super bad need of it, but I do have a few ideas. So hope you all enjoyed. This is Monstertaming signing off. Hope you have a wonderful day. Goodbye, God bless, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye-bye.